Hi, I'm Rashid Hill, and I'm the president of the Great Communicators, Club 626 here in California, San Diego. It is a pleasure to take this moment to give you some tips, considerations, some interesting things that I think will helpful in your Toastmasters journey. Each of us joined Toastmasters because we wanted to get some benefit out of it that will help increase or enhance our level of confidence, our public speaking, or even just networking and getting to know other people and feeling comfortable in those particular settings where we might find ourselves. We know that in these times right now, the lockdown or shelter in place, there's a lot of remote work that is going on. And the gig economy is used to this in a setting where you're behind the computer screen or in front of the computer screen. You're in front of a camera, and that's sometimes a little uncomfortable for many. Zoom is making a massive inroad to so many people's homes nowadays. They probably could not believe the 90 to 100 to up to 700% increase in their business in the last 2 months. So we know that these are different times, but we still want to stay engaged and do what we can to continue our public speaking journey to mastery, or what we call DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster. But today we're going to call it QTM, as I saw on one of the messages in our Toastmasters Leadership Central, Quarantine Toastmaster, QTM. So right now, let's look at some considerations for being in Toastmasters. Why Toastmasters? Why public speaking? What is the most interesting but most beneficial part of public speaking? And today I want to focus in on what we call impromptu, or what most people call impromptu speaking, which is the table topics in Toastmasters. Some people may call it impromptu, off the cuff, off the top, elevator pitch, or in the moment response. There are so many times that you have to be ready to respond. What if you're in an interview? And I think this is probably the most commonly thought of way to use table topics or impromptu speaking. If you have a job interview, you don't necessarily know all the questions that are going to be asked. But interesting enough, you know some of them, and you're prepared for the why do you think you're the best candidate, or tell me something about yourself, or what's your goals? These are common questions. But today, they have to really set a bar a little higher and sift through some of the highly qualified people. And so you may get a question that you're not used to, or you just really hadn't heard before. Impromptu speaking comes in handy in those moments. So I recommend that you listen to some of these considerations, see if they're true for you. And with that, maybe you'll have an opportunity to find more value in saying yes and during the table topics session. So I want to take a look at my screen right quick, and we're going to look at some opportunities here to get into just a quick tips and considerations I want to give to you. So thinking on your feet is another aspect or another ism for impromptu or table topic speaking. But you know, our routines and assumptions have all been put on the shelf pretty much in this time of uncertainty and the face of this pandemic. We all understand there's a new normal, and we have to embrace it. Remote working, work from home, the gig economy, these are type of terminologies that you will have to get used to. Yet I'm confident that the courage gained in Toastmasters can help us handle any changes and disruptions in our lives. We can do this with poise, decisiveness, and definitely you want to add a little humor. And you'll see why humor is important in a few minutes. So right now we're using new variables for cooking, cleaning, communicating, working, and even working out. There are so many people that are using online software and online platforms, this video conferencing, for their actual working out or exercise. There was one site that said they had an increase, a new record set. They had a record set in April, and then previously they had a record set in January, because a lot of people want to get fit, and that's their goal for the new year. Well, with this pandemic and this quarantine, so to speak, there was this online exercise program, and they had Pilates and some other things, and boom, they had a new record set. I think something like 23,000 people were online doing their exercise program. So that's pretty awesome. So we know this is the new normal, and a lot of us are embracing that. And this is one way of embracing it, by watching this on either Facebook or Instagram, or just in your email. But mostly we're confronting the unknown, and we're making it up as we go. Just like saying yes to table topics. Remember, we are all in this together, and you, as a Toastmaster, you make a difference in your family, in your work, in your community, and most importantly, in the world. So let's climb out of our comfort zone for a moment, and let's get into what I call a great opportunity. So, yes, that is one of those all kind of grammarian issues, but this is a transition into a topic that I want to discuss. So let's do it. I'm going to share my screen so you can see what I'm talking about here. It's really rough. It's nothing polished. Just something I want to show you real quick. Toastmasters and impromptu speaking, off the cuff, in the moment, elevator pitch, whatever you want to call it, it's table topics in our particular world. Be brilliant. This is what I would ask. The first consideration for table topics, and just public speaking in general, the fear of public speaking cuts wages by 10%. Think about that for a second. If you really want to be competitive in your job, promotions, and you want to have that edge, Toastmasters will help you get it. Why? Because the fear of public speaking can hold you back. It does restrict you from standing out in the crowd. And there's more than one person at your job. There may be more than one person going after a contract. You have to do that sales pitch. You have to get in front of somebody and show them why you are the best candidate for them to work with, or you are the best candidate to lead that team. And that increases your confidence, but at the same time, the company sees value in what you do. And of course, the company will definitely give you the opportunity to become a leader with that up in your pay. So that's a good thing. But like I said, one consideration you want to think about is the fear of public speaking cuts your wages by 10%. It's a tough one. Another consideration is that fear of public speaking inhibits promotion to management by 15%. Wow. So one, you may not get an opportunity to be recognized for an award for doing a good job, and that's cut by 10% just from the fear of public speaking. But if you're looking for a promotion to a higher position, that's cut by 15% just because you have a fear of speaking up in public or in a setting that has more than two people. It's very interesting. In addition to lowering your potential wages, a fear of public speaking also makes it more difficult to be promoted to a management position. This is statistics and a report says. And even if you make it to a management role with this fear, it'll be mighty tough to perform well, given how much group speaking is typically involved in those rules. So you have to understand the power of Toastmasters when it comes to getting you to a level that people recognize your talent. Ooh, the third consideration I want to talk about is that your delivery matters more than your content. Some of us may have heard this. In my research and in my talks and in the numerous times that I've sat in conferences and different types of symposium and leadership events, we talk about this a lot, and I hear this a lot. But some of you may not know that studies have shown that effective presentations are 38% what you say, your voice, 55% of your nonverbal communication, your body language, and 7% is what you are saying. 38% is what comes out of your mouth, the tone, the distance of travel, the injection or inflection of your voice. The 55% is your body language, and 7% is actually what content, actually the depth of the actual knowledge that you're putting out to the public. Really let that soak in for a second. It's not about your voice. It's not about what you're saying. It's about the emotion behind it, as well as what your body is doing to convey that message. So believe me, when you're doing your table topics, when you're doing impromptu speaking, as long as you deliver the emotion of what you want to say, not necessarily hitting everything correct, not necessarily having a problem with ums and ahs and so's and because, just as long as your emotion is consistent with the topic or the subject of what you're saying, and your delivery is on point and the pitch is not out of whack, then you will get your point across, and more effectively than somebody that's very articulate and they want to try so hard not to make a mistake. So that means that you should spend more time preparing your delivery than developing awesome content. And it depends on your audience, and you'll realize that. Sometimes it's necessary for a technical speech versus an emotional speech. Number 4, consideration. Talk less to engage your audience more. So in reality, what they say, more is less is more. I did a talk about this one time. Less is more. Research suggests that if a presenter does all the talking without giving the audience an opportunity to participate, then the audience engagement drops by 14%. If you ever watch a TED Talk, even if you watch Toastmasters at the international level in the speech contest, you will see that the one that has the most engagement with the audience delivers the best speech, because the energy from the audience helps your speech and your presentation come across so much better. 1, make sure that you address and put more effort into the way you deliver, which includes audience engagement. And 2, don't worry about being grammatically correct, pitch correct all the time, but just make sure that you're engaging with the audience, but have the substance of what is compatible with the way you're moving, the way you're talking, and the expressions that you have. But the content is not as important as the audience engagement and your body movement. This is incredibly important. One of the key factors, how do you get that audience engagement? The primary way is to ask questions. Take care to provide plenty of opportunities for your audience to ask questions to you, but more so you ask questions to your audience. If you don't, you will lose them in the first few minutes. Number 5. The 5th consideration I want to leave you with is that when you're conducting your speech or even your table talks, and we're really talking about table topics because I want you to know that when you're doing an extended speech, you can deliver a great message and you can add all these factors in there and stretch them out and put them throughout your speech. But in your table topics, what if you could add facts? What if you add body language? What if you ask a question? What if you engage your audience? And what if your pitch is perfect in a 1-minute segment? Then you have mastered the art of impromptu speaking. But adding facts and figures to a presentation increases your audience retention by 20%. So if you want your audience to be engaging and you want them to be compelled to action by what you're saying, add some statistics to what you're delivering in that short time that you have. So be brilliant. And take note of the 5 considerations for public speaking, more specifically, even in your table topics. Stretch yourself. Put forth the effort. When you say yes to table topics, lean forward. Lean into it. You don't know what you're going to say. You don't have any idea what's going to come out of your mouth next. But guess what? You're very confident. You're a Toastmaster, and you can make things happen with your voice and with your body language and with the content that comes across to anybody that hears you speak. I'm Rashid Hill, and I appreciate your time. Great Communicators, Club 626 in San Diego. We welcome you every Wednesday night right here online. And when we get out of the pandemic code, COVID-19 mode, then we'll be at the Malcolm X Library, 6:15 p.m. every Wednesday evening. But for the time being, we're right here on Zoom, 6:15 p.m. every Wednesday. If you want to know exactly the link, then we'll get that to you. Not a problem. Just let me know, and we'll take care of that. You're always welcome. Great Communicators, Club 626. This has been a topic from the Toastmasters Leadership Central. The topic was table topics and public speaking. And it's my pleasure to come back anytime and have this conversation with you. Take care. Be brilliant. Until next time.